Why is your boob so big? Your mama don't have it. Where did you get it from? What did you do to it? Those were the questions that I used to get from people asking me why my boobs are so big. So today I'm going to talk about my boobs, which is so embarrassing to me, but it is what it is, because I want to talk to parents, and I also want to talk to ladies who are struggling to love themselves, because I grew up, with poor self-esteem. I hated myself because of how, people made me feel, and mostly because of how I was made to feel from home, because, it felt so terrible that even when outsiders made me feel bad, I was also bullied at home for my big boobs. So stay tuned, because I'm going to talk to parents, and it's going to be a wonderful experience, and most importantly, motivate women who are struggling to accept themselves. Hi, my name is Mfon. Welcome to my channel, and this channel is called Healthy Parenting, because I know what it means to grow up in an unhealthy parenting where, a parent is supposed to help, but he or she didn't. So, like I said, I'm going to talk about myself. My boobs is one of the most embarrassing things that I used to face growing up because of unnecessary attention. So, I am a blessed woman, an attractive lady, but I didn't know that it used to be, it is a blessing and a beautiful thing. So today, the number one thing I'm going to talk about is the job of a parent. So what's the job of a parent? The job of a parent is to teach, educate, and encourage as much as you can. Like I said, people used to make fun of me. A lot of people used to ask me, why is my boobs so big? Which was offensive and annoying, because I didn't have any contribution, to it. I didn't create myself, but I was left to answer questions that it was so, weird for me to answer, because I didn't know what to say and I didn't have answers to it. And worst of it all, my mama did not help. Even though people make fun of me, I just said, well, it's from outside. They can say whatever they want. But the one my mama said to me was like, it was like a sword to my chest. It was so hurtful. It was so humiliating. I felt ashamed. I felt broken. I felt lost. Because even when people are, hitting me from outside, it shouldn't come from home. It shouldn't come from home. And, I started growing my breasts at the age of 10, which is normal. In biology, you are taught that living things grow. And when living things grow, they change. And part of, growth that we experience as human is puberty, adolescence. So at 10, I started growing breasts, and it went from pow, from 0 to 90. So as a teenager, I already have the size that I had now as a teenager. So it was big. It was surprising to me as much as it was to my mom as well. So I started growing breasts at the age of 10. In 6 months time, I was already putting on bra. I remember a friend from church asking me, why are you wearing bra? I'm like, my mom bought it for me. So I didn't know what to do at the time. I was still growing. I was a little girl at 10 years old. What do you expect? I have a 10-year-old girl that asks me for help and support almost all the time. So I didn't know what was going on with me. But as a little girl, you expect your mama to tell you some things, because she has gone through that stage. But my mama didn't. Instead, she joined the multitude to destroy me, which was so heartbroken, which was so painful. At the time, There was a time in my life that I almost committed suicide because of my boobs. I know you're asking, how did it happen? Let me tell you. Because I was so embarrassed about my boobs, I went to the pharmacy, I checked in with the chemist, and I asked her, I whispered to her, what can I do to my breast for it to, shrink down? It's too big. I don't like it. I was so ashamed to say that because already I'm embarrassed for the size of my breast. Let me get some water. So she said, okay, she got me something, and I took it that night. And when I woke up, and I'm like, nothing has changed. It's still the same size. And by the way, this is me, beautifully crafted and designed by God, right? But I didn't know that I used to be embarrassed by myself. So like I said, I took it, and I woke up in the morning and I said, nothing has changed. But I was so embarrassed to go back to her and said, I paid money for this. Why hasn't anything changed? I was so embarrassed for that. So years later, I now ask myself, hold on, wait a minute. What if she had given me something poisonous and I took that night and I slept and I did not wake up? Because that is definitely drug abuse. Medicine that were not prescribed, I took it. But God saved my life. That's the power of words. The thing that my mom said to me, I cannot say it in camera to respect her, but it was very horrible. It was very destructive. Mothers, parents, your job is to educate, your job is to support, your job is to teach. Your job is to help. So that takes me to my next point, which is my struggle. People don't understand that people with big boobs have their own struggles. The breast, your breast size alone is, makes you not to wear regular bra. I don't buy bra at Walmart. I don't buy bra at Target. The one I bought at Target, I think I gave it out because it wasn't my size. I mean, it's not that it wasn't my size. It did not, pack up very well. So I buy expensive bra. So my bra are very expensive. I don't mind paying a lot of money for bras because it is part of my self-care. So I spend a lot of money to get good bras for myself, and like I said, is part of self-care. So as a matter of fact, one of the things I was so excited about when I moved into the US was getting a good bra. So when I came here, I was just like, thank God I'm gonna get a good bra here in the US, because I really struggle with getting a good bra for myself. And let me know, do you people struggle with bra, getting a good bra? Because where I normally go to get bra is 2 hours plus away from here, from where I currently live, and I'm planning to make that trip. That is how important it is to women with big boobs, because we need to package it up well and make sure that they are well packaged. And it's a struggle that it's also a blessing. So when I have the opportunity, I'm gonna make that trip just for bra. 2 hours plus away from here to get bra. Bra size for us, we don't just buy any bra, so it's a struggle for us. And the next one is back pain. We struggle with back pain because the front here is heavy. It pulls us from the back, so we have back pain. So we have our own struggle. So for people to be asking us silly questions like, or make fun of us, oh, why is your own too big? Some people will like jokingly say, oh, you got 2 for 1. I mean, God just gave you too much. People just say things that already you're struggling with, the blessings that God has given to you. And the third thing is that, we don't have the privilege of wearing strapless, you know, clothes. We don't have the privilege of not wearing bra. You know, some people don't wear bra outside, as in they just put on their clothes and off they go. We don't have that privilege. And the next one is that we have a bra max. Yes, there was a time I was doing exercise and my bra injured my shoulder. So we struggle with bra marks because we wear bra every time. So it is a struggle to us. We have to wear it every time. And the next one is unnecessary attention. Oh, to my brothers, I mean, the reason why I used to be so embarrassed was the way, the boys, the men used to look at me. Instead of them to look at your face, they will focus on your chest, making you so embarrassed. And sometimes I'm like, what are you looking at? Just look at my face. I'm talking to you. Look at my face. What are you looking at? Unnecessary attention. And the next one is that I gain weight. Because people were making fun of me. I remember somebody telling me, don't lose weight too much because your everywhere is gonna be boobs. You're gonna get it's gonna come out so much. And that was one of the reasons why I gained weight, to cover up my boobs, ignorantly, which the weight that I gained over the years affected my knee. So, listening to people over the years, struggling with self-esteem for what, from what people say and from what my mom said, it has affected it affected my self-esteem. I wasn't proud of myself. I wasn't proud of, the way God made me, because I felt it was ugly. I felt it was ugly. So I struggle. And one of the reasons why, and if you notice in my YouTube channel, I wear black. One of the reasons why I started wearing black was because somebody made a comment about, one of my videos, that it looks like I did not wear bra. I'm like, me? Not somebody like me. I don't have that privilege, and I can never come in front of camera without putting on bra. That's impossible. So to take people's attention away from what I wear, I started wearing black so that people will not see. Sometimes I wear my short sleeve. Sometimes I still put jacket on top so that, still to cover. Sometimes I wear long sleeve black shirt, my custom made shirt. So it's something I really struggle with. And another thing, growing up, I used to wear big clothes. I used to wear big clothes so that I will still cover it. I struggle. I used to wear big clothes to cover it because I was so ashamed. I was so ashamed of myself. I was so ashamed of my boobs. And like I said, I gained weight, which, affected my knee. And this was how I looked like when I was a young girl. Nobody told me that I was this beautiful with my figure 8. And I gained weight and became like this. Yes, I gained weight. I became so fat. And, I now discovered that even when I gained weight, it became bigger because there's skin in my boobs, and it obviously became bigger and so bold. And when I lost weight, and this is me now, I think I'm not there yet, but I really love the way I look. Yeah, I had to start loving myself and accepting myself for what it is, for what God made me. And another thing was that if breast reduction was an option growing up as a child, I would have done it. I wouldn't have thought of the side effect. I would have just went for it, because I've seen a comment on YouTube how a man said his wife did breast reduction and they just had a baby and she couldn't breastfeed. And I didn't even know that it can affect breastfeeding. I would have gone for it if I had the opportunity, but I didn't. But I thank God I didn't, because that takes me to the third point, which is what I wish I knew. Yes, what I wish I knew. I wish I knew how to love myself. I wish I knew how to accept what God has blessed me with my blessings. I wish my parents, my mom, supported me. I wish she taught me that I am beautiful. There are some things that I experienced growing up, and one of it was that I had this friend, a guy, who once told me, "Mfon, I noticed that you are always shy, you're ashamed of your boobs, of your big boobs." And I said, "Yeah, I am not proud of it. It's so big. I don't like it. It's ugly." And he smiled and said, "No, it is not ugly. It is beautiful." And I said, "Oh no, I don't like it." And he said, "Do you know what? Let me tell you something. Do you know that your boobs can even seduce a pastor?" I'm like, "Nope. I don't want to seduce anybody. Stop saying that. No." And he was like, "No, it's not your fault. It's not because of whatever you do. It's just because that's who you are. That's the way God made you. You are beautiful. You have an attractive body." You know what? I wish my mom had told me that, but it did not happen. But another person had to tell me that. So what I wish I knew was that, I wish my mom was the one to support me, to teach me, to educate me, to help me to understand that my body is an attractive body. I have an attractive body that makes the opposite sex uncomfortable. But as a child of God, we need to serve God with our bodies. I needed those encouragement, but unfortunately it came from an outsider. So he was just like, "See, let me tell you something. You are an attractive lady. Your boobs is beautiful." He's the one that said that when a woman with boobs dresses, she has some fittings. I mean, she has, that figure 8, like my picture when I was a young lady in my early 20s. I'm in my late 30s now. So she said it gives you, that figure 8, which I'm getting there. I just lost, a ton of weight. So I am not as fat as I used to be. And I'm having that figure 8 coming out. So I wish somebody had told me that a woman with boobs is a beautiful lady, is an attractive lady. It's it's a blessing. I would have accepted myself more. I would have loved myself more. I would have not waited until in my late 30s that I now accept myself, or I now sometimes I grieve not accepting myself as a young girl, not loving myself, hating myself to the point that I ate, and I gain weight. I sometimes feel bad about hating myself that bad, but this is why this channel is here, to help parents to be the mentor, to be a role model, to teach, to educate, to support, to make their daughters and their boys know that nobody is perfect. Okay? If we were all the same, there will be nothing unique about us. We are different in our own unique ways, and God makes us in a very unique way. And I also want to share the uses of my boobs. Now that I'm an adult, now that I'm a mom, I made up my mind that as a mother, I'm gonna breastfeed my kids, very well. So all my kids, they've nursed for 2 years, and make sure that I wait 2 years before I have another baby, so that they will have it for 2 years. So I've breastfed my kids enough. So I'm a proud mama that I've used this breast to the glory of God to breastfeed my kids. I've also I also use it to give my kids warm hug in the mornings, or whenever I don't have my bra on. Right to that. I love you. Bye. In the mornings before they go to school, I give them a warm hug. My kids, my boys, my girls, I give them warm hugs, and I also, you know, my current toddler uses it to cuddle herself to sleep. Yes, I allow her to play with it, and that rocks her to sleep. And also for my husband, even the Bible says in, I think Proverbs chapter 5:18-19, let it be your husband's enjoyment. You know what I mean? So that is the uses. So even if growing up I see it as a very bad thing, now I know how to use it. And this song says I understand the assignment. You know what I mean? And funny enough, these days we live in a society that people, women that don't have breasts do breast enlargement. And I'm like, when I was growing up, it was a thing of shame. Now people want to carry it, big, showcase it. Meanwhile, somebody like us, we have it naturally. It doesn't go anywhere. Some people, like the celebrity, when they are tired of it, they go and take it out. But our blessings last forever. It doesn't have any side effects. It's always there. We don't need any taking it out and putting it back in. You know what I mean? So I was ashamed for no reason. And it surprises me, or it's fascinating how things turn around. That growing up it was ugly, now it's something that everybody wants to have. I mean, that is interesting. What I was like, oh, it's so ugly, but now I'm like rocking it like no man's business. Don't you think so? I mean, that's our society for you. So that is it. Number one, like I said, the job of a parent, educate and support. Number two, I shared my struggle and I shared my story, and how my mom did not make me feel good and how the society made me feel miserable about it. And the third one is what I wish I knew, which is what I'm sharing, so that you as a parent or anybody watching this as a young person should accept herself even with her many blessings. Thank you so much for watching. Before I go, I hope you like this video, but before I go, I'm going to share a scripture from, I want to get my phone. I want to share a scripture from Psalms chapter 139 from verse 13-14. Most importantly, know that you were created in the image of God and that you are beautifully and wonderfully made. Let me read Psalms 139, 13-14. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. So, you are created in the image of God. Don't let anybody put you down. Don't let anybody make you feel miserable. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, give me a thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to my channel. Let me know your thoughts below. Do you struggle with big boobs? Do you struggle with bra? Because I struggle. That is what we struggle with, but I am happy because like I said, I would have reduced it if I had the opportunity, but now it goes nowhere. It is for my for me to enjoy it now, because I didn't used to enjoy it when I was young. When I was in my early 20s, in my teen age. So I want to enjoy it now. Look, thankfully I've lost the weight, so I love it now, and I hope that will encourage you to love yourself more. And if you have daughters, encourage them to love themselves. That's the ultimate purpose for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye.